Hey, what's up, guys? It's Peter Voogd, and welcome to YEL 2.0 podcast, as well as my YouTube channel, whether you're watching on YouTube or whether you're listening in your car to the podcast. I'm excited to bring you this episode because I've been preparing for this. Actually, for the last 7 or 8 years, I've done this review strategy and tactic, and I've done this planning system to make sure I've had the best year ever every single year, and I've never really shared my thought process, what I write down, how I think about it, my non-negotiables, my mindset going into a new year, and I figured why not share it with you guys. So welcome, and I'm excited because I know how much this will help your bottom line results. I'm not necessarily focused as much on making you feel amazing or getting you excited, because everybody's excited for the new year. If you ask 100 people if they're going to have their best year ever, all 100 say, of course I am. But if you fast forward, 95% are in the same place they were before, or even worse, right? So I want to talk about the new year, the new you, and remind you that there's never been a better time to go all in on your goals, your dreams, your business, your ideal lifestyle than right now. You're not getting any younger, and more importantly, your parents aren't getting any younger. So I want to make sure you're not validating, you're not waiting for the perfect time, because you're inviting regret in your life if you're doing that. So I just want to make sure you guys have a clear roadmap and you have a plan to follow to make sure you execute the best year you've ever had. And don't get me wrong, it's exciting to see everybody excited about the new year and locked and loaded, but the facts remain that most people go back to old habits. We did an experiment in 2011 with my sales team, and we went to the gym. And the first couple days of the year, the gym is packed. You can't find an elliptical. You can't find a place to run. Every single spot is taken. Fast forward 2 weeks, the gym is empty. Once you get past the uncomfortable feeling of working out, you go back to your old habits. So most people never ever lasted past the first week or two. So I want you to understand, this is how you solidify and almost guarantee your best year ever, because habits trump inspiration. And by the way, this is not the right way to plan your year, to think about your year. It's the only way that I've seen work for myself and those that I've taught and impacted through our academy, through my sales process, and through when I speak. It's flexible based on where you're at in your business, based on what stage you're at, what values are most important to you. And I really can't stand the videos, the vision videos, the plan your year videos, and I've watched a couple of them. I can't stand the ones that give you an exact blueprint with no uniqueness, no unique questions to ask, not really helping people understand what's most important to them, because what's most important to you might not be most important to me, and might not be most important to someone else watching. So I want to give you the right framework, the right way to think about it, and give you questions that you can execute on based on where you're at in your life and your business. You see, a smart person learns from their mistakes, as all successful people do. But those wanting world-class results learn from other people's mistakes, so they can cut their learning curve in half and not waste as much time making the same ones. So this video is all about how to create, design, and craft the best year you've ever had, starting now. There's 3 opportunities almost all entrepreneurs miss, and I want to go through those with you. First opportunity is they don't fully predetermine or prepare and think things through to the end result. And instead, they have Superman syndrome, which means they want to do everything themselves. And that causes them to shoot themselves in the foot and not be productive and get burnout. Second thing is they don't have a blueprint on how to be massively productive throughout their days. And they don't understand their prime time, when they have the most willpower, their best natural time of day, or they're working on the wrong activities. And the third opportunity most entrepreneurs miss is they have this grass is greener mentality. And it's evident in personal growth now. And I don't want you to fall victim. The mentality is holding a lot of people back. They get the information they need, but instead they fail to take action. They trick themselves into thinking they need more information when they just need more intelligent execution. I want this year to be the year of mastery, not overload. Mastery, not overload. Knowing yourself, not just personal growth, okay? So before we even dive in to how to plan the best year ever, you have to figure out what stage you're at in your business. And you have to figure out what stage you're at in your life. Are you in sacrifice stage? Are you just grinding every day? Are you in a stage where you don't have six figures yet, you don't have much money, and you have to just hustle and grind and make sure you're working right, but you got to work overtime to make sure you can have a free, autonomous lifestyle later? For me, I was willing to work 100 hours a week to eventually work 10 or whenever I wanted. Are you in the delegation stage where you need to start building a team and start delegating strategically, leveraging technology? Is building a team the focus? Are you in the clarity stage where you need more clarity still? Do you already have money? Do you have money systemized? Do you have your non-negotiables in place, your profit-producing activities in place, and your focus is to build relationships, maximize experiences, and make sure you're focused on the family? I don't know what stage you're at, but you need to figure out what stage you're at in your life and business before you can purposely plan your next 12 months. Okay? So here is the 5 things I'm going to go through. Creating your ideal vision, reviewing the previous 30 to 60 days. Remember, habits trump inspiration. Kind of taking care of interruptions and momentum killers before they come up. Planning out the next 30 to 90 days. Your weekly and monthly checkups. Creating your compelling reasons, and then a reward system. That's it, right? You have to create a strategy, not any run-of-the-mill strategy, but the strategy that's proven to work for you. You don't really have a strategy for business if it doesn't pass these 2 things. What you're doing and what you're planning, it really matters is your existing and potential customers. So that what you're planning to do really matters to your existing and potential customers. So once again, you don't have a strategy if it doesn't pass these 2 tests. 1, it matters to your existing and potential customers. And 2, it differentiates you from the competition. Remember what I talked about in one of the previous videos. By the way, I want to sincerely thank you for an amazing last 12 months, whenever you're watching this, and for your support, for your love, for your candor, for your honesty. If you've ever shared any of my videos, I genuinely appreciate it. We've spent a lot of time, money, and energy this past 30 days to craft an amazing focus for YEL Podcast and my YouTube channel. So you don't miss anything, make sure you subscribe. It would mean the world to me if you subscribe to my YouTube and to YEL. The links are below, obviously. But I'm going to do all I can to make sure our content's differentiated. It's the most valuable content, and it's better than the content people charge thousands for. Okay, so I just want to thank you for that. We've had a great year, and I hope you guys have as well. And there's nothing I enjoy more than getting emails and messages and DMs about how you've taken the content in my videos and in my podcast and executed and got a result. Nothing that makes me more excited. So I appreciate you. So when you're planning, make sure you have something that differentiates you. And like I talked about, it's not about doing things that just maintain your business. A lot of people plan for things to maintain. No, what maintains your business should be systemized and delegated and leveraged, and you shouldn't be focused on that. You need to be focused on what produces growth. So when you're planning out your year, there's things that maintain your business and there's things that produce growth. You should be focusing on what produces growth, okay? So step 1, by the way, keep everything simple too. This is not a complicated video. It's simple. If your strategies, if your plans, if your systems seem complicated, they are. Take the time to simplify your strategy and boil it down to the absolute most important components of what you've defined as what matters to you. Okay, so the first step is just create your ideal world-class vision. No limitations. This is called free flow writing. Unplug for a second. Get yourself in a situation where you might have no internet, no distractions, no one bothering you, and let your mind kind of wander and focus on the year that you want and just create in your head an ideal year. Like, what are you doing? How are you feeling? What have you created? What do people know you for, right? Once you create your world-class vision, the key here is not to change it every 3 days. Most entrepreneurs are consistently changing their vision, rewriting it based on the shiny object syndrome, based on someone else saying something, based on them changing their moods or their emotions or their environments. Don't do that. When you create this vision, sell yourself on it. Okay? Remember, there's no such thing as overnight success. This is your year of consistency and mastery, all right? In order to obtain a game-changing vision for the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, you need to articulate your next 6 months. You need to plan out your next 30 to 90 days, and you need to make sure you think about your next 5 years of where you want to be. When people say plan out your next 5 or 10 years, I think that's stupid. I don't think it's smart, because you change, trends change, customers change, businesses change, values change, the market changes. So if you would tell me my vision right now is what I wanted 10 years ago, I would say no, it wasn't. That's why it's good to adapt and adjust, but you got to have a similar vision for what you want for your life and for your business and family, right? So envision your business. So once you're writing down your ideal vision and you're just kind of free flowing, there's no limitation, just free flow. That's what I do for a half hour, right? How was your last year? What do you want to change? Biggest lessons, biggest breakthroughs, right? How this year is going to be different. And this is no limitations. There's no guidelines here. Now you want to get into a little more structure. Envision your business 6 months from now. Okay, whether it's now until June, whether you're watching this in February, whether you're watching this whenever, get super detailed. How much money are you making? What does your schedule look like? Like, what is your ideal schedule? Do you want to wake up when you feel like it? Do you want to get up at 5 a.m.? I know people promote get up at 4 a.m. I'm big on getting up when you want to get up based on the business you've created and obviously the results. I'm not big on getting up when you want if you don't have the results you want, right? But what does your schedule look like? How involved are you in the business? What feelings do you want to experience each day? What systems and programs will you have in place at the end of these 6 months? Put yourself in that state of mind, fast forward 6 months, and ask yourself, what qualities have you obtained to further your vision and help design your perfect life? What qualities do you want to obtain in the next 6 months? These are just questions. You're free flowing, right? Do you want to be a stronger leader? Do you want more integrity? Do you want more character? Do you want more emotional strength? Do you want more consistency, discipline, time management? Do you want more confidence? Do you want to be a better prioritizer? Do you want to be a better listener? Do you want to be more persistent, a better work ethic? I don't know. But what qualities do you want to accomplish and obtain in the next 6 months? I always ask myself, what can make me a better leader? How can I be a better husband, brother, son, mentor, leader, student, right? And then I ask myself, what qualities am I currently lacking that are needed for me to hit my results that I just wrote down for the year? And I always ask myself, what are those results, or what are those qualities? I've been really bad at wisdom and intelligence and thinking things through in the past. I just take action, I build relationships, right? Which is great, but I got to think things through. There's a time for thinking, there's a time for execution. Don't mix the two. Don't be thinking when you should be executing, and don't be executing when you should be thinking, right? So I think about what I needed. I've also needed patience. Almost every goal I set takes longer than expected. So you have to understand, don't spread yourself too thin by setting 1,000 goals this year. Just set a couple goals, right? So there's 4 categories of an entrepreneur that they have at the forefront of their mind. Some people are better at others. There's wisdom and intelligence, 1. There's results and action, 2. There's love and compassion, relationships, 3. And there's knowledge and systems and like organizational skills. Everyone has some of these. Your third one is the game changer. So what that means is, think about which ones you're best at out of those 4. Are you good at wisdom and intelligence? Are you good at thinking things through, problem solving, innovating? Or are you good at results and action first? Or are you focused on relationships and vision and compassion, and you focus on love? Or are you analytical? Do you like to do the systems, and are you organized? Figure out which one's next and make sure you know when you're going to get good at that. For me, I was a results guy and a relationship guy, but I wasn't good at thinking things through, intelligence and wisdom. And your third score is the game changer. So what that means is, think about your top. I want you to label these top 3 in a row. The third one, if you hit that, that's the game changer. So if you're great at relationships and love, and you're great at wisdom and intelligence, but you're not that good at action, that's the game changer for the year. So you need to figure that out, right? Inherently, most people perform 2 of the 4 skills. Your third one's where you can see the game changer. I also ask myself, what killed my momentum in the past? What has killed my momentum in the past? And I think about that. Okay, throughout my year, what could get in my way? And I try to create an interruption for that, because if you don't have a plan to interrupt your interruptions, your plans will always be interrupted, right? So look at yourself and ask, what qualities do you want to obtain, and what qualities are you lacking right now that you need to establish in order to get to that 6-month or year vision? Okay, so just pick one and go all in on this quality for the next couple weeks, and then work on that quality relentlessly, and then go back and pick another quality. For example, if you're not good at planning your day, then every day you're going to take one action that enables you to embody that quality. Think, right? I am a master at planning my day. Visualize yourself planning your day. Successful people know what they want, and they rehearse it with precision and feeling, and they know that they have to allow their self-image to precede the reality. Let me say that again. You need to, this year, allow your self-image to precede reality. Who you are right now is not who you're going to be if you want to accomplish all these goals. So if you want to make $1 million this year, you have to start thinking and acting like a millionaire now. If you want, this is the biggest incongruency I see in people planning the years. They don't focus on 2 things that they should. They focus on what they're going to do. Here's my plan. You don't focus on who you need to become, and you don't focus on who you're going to reach out to. There's always tactics and there's always a plan, but half the plan is who should you connect with to help you cut your learning curve in half, and who do I need to become that I'm not right now? How do I need to start thinking and acting that's most congruent to the end result of my goal? So when I was wanting to make 6 figures and I was broke, I was still thinking like a broke person. And that's why I stayed broke. If you're making 4 or 5 figures, if you're making 30K, 40K, 50K for the year, and you want to make 6 figures, you have to start thinking and acting like somebody already making 6 figures, right? Same thing with being a millionaire. So focus on that quality, create your vision, think about your ideal outcomes. We're going to get more specific in the next 30 to 90 days, but that's just a vision exercise. That's the first step. Get everything out of your head. Number 2, review your previous 30 to 60 days. This is the easiest way to create the strategy, is to review your previous 30 days. Think about this. The best way to predict someone's next 30 days, the best way to predict someone's next 6 months is to look at their previous 30 days and their previous 6 months. There's nothing on the planet stronger than habit. Someone could tell you to the blue in the face, I'm going to make the next 6 months the best 6 months ever. No, you're going to make the next 6 months exactly how your last 6 months went, because habits trump inspiration. Unless you change something, okay? You change something that you put in your head every day, or you get around higher level people. That's the only 2 things that are going to change that. So if you want an amazing next 30 days, you better review your last 30 days, right? So analyze your biggest breakthroughs, your perspective shifters, by focusing on these tough questions to extract the best, most helpful information. So top 5 wins from the previous month. What are your biggest frustrations and disappointments? How did you add value to the marketplace? How did you become more valuable and more irreplaceable so the value to the marketplace is worth more and more wanted, right? Who did you connect with and reach out to? How did you stay adventurous and alive to make sure that you don't get complacent or lethargic, right? What messed up your momentum in the past? What did you work on that was legacy focused? These are activities that don't pay you now, but will pay you dividends over and over again eventually. Books, creating programs, courses, membership sites, albums, working on a speech. Did you hit your income goals and your other analytics and measurements that you wanted to surpass this last 30 days? What were your top 3? And by the way, this is something you're going to have to rewind and go back and do, right? But I just want to go through this so you have the actual information. These are things I do every single year, and I put them into 30-day reviews and weekly reviews, which I'll go through. Did you hit your income goals? What are your top 3 profit-producing activities from the last month? Can you double down on these activities or focus more energy and resources on these activities? What were the 80%, what was the 20% of marketing techniques that got 80% of your results the past 30 to 60 days? What activities did you waste time on that did not produce as good of results that you need to get rid of or justify that you're putting time into it? Do you have a team review where you're reviewing your performance from each of your team to make sure you have A players? Do they know the best communication channels? Do they know the results they're trying to accomplish? Do they know the team and the business vision? If you just made sure your whole team knew the purpose of your business and the outcome of your business, and you said, what's the vision of our company? And they all had the same answer, you'd have your best year business-wise. The worst thing that could happen in business is if someone asks their whole team, what's the vision? And they all have different visions, right? That's not creating a good culture. So review your previous 30 to 60 days. Next, plan and execute what you want to accomplish the next 30 to 60 days. Okay, because your next 60 days, the habits, the results, the momentum will carry you into your best year ever, or just, there's only 3 years you can really have. Okay, the best year you've ever had, just another year, or your worst year you've ever had. And sadly, as the economy gets tougher, the economy is going to be tough this year. If you don't know this, you've been under a rock. The economy is going to be tough. It's been amazing for 9 or 10 years, which is already a record length of positive, right? It's going to go down. And if you can develop yourself and become a professional when times are tough, you'll be able to dominate the rest of your life, especially this year. So you have to build momentum going into the next couple of months, because that carries through the rest of the year. So it's either best year ever, just another year, or your worst year ever. So I want you to solidify your best year ever. So what are your top 5 goals? And I don't even do year planning. I do year planning, but I do 6 months and 6 months. So I have my year at a 50,000 foot level, but I do 6 month vision, 6 month vision. And I put them together. You can do either way. So what is your top 5 goals that you want to accomplish in the next 6 months? Top 5. Okay. What's your ideal revenue goal for the next 6 months? And then break it down. Where's that revenue going to come from? Okay. What is your marketing plan? This is a big one. What is your marketing plan? Most people focus on the doing or the actual product. Here's my product. Here's what it does. Here's what I teach. You need to become a marketer of your thing this year. Marketing is the game. The marketing of your thing is the game. It should be 80% marketing, 20% delivery and creating and actually producing your product. Okay? What's your marketing plan? What should your team be focused on? What are the key result indicators they should be utilizing, right? What are your non-negotiables going to be every single week to make sure you're as productive as possible? Right? So top 5 goals for the year. What is your revenue goal? What is your marketing goal? Okay, and then break them down into smaller goals. So when you have your 30-day vision, you have your top 5 for the 6 months. Break them down to 30-day plans, right? Top 5 goals broken down into weekly goals. What are your top 3 profit-producing activities that you're going to execute every single week to make sure that you're going to hit your monthly goals that equivalates your 6-month vision? What are your non-negotiables that are non-business that are relevant to your values? Let's skip back up to your vision. I forgot to mention the values. What is most important to you in life? In order. Is money most important? Is family most important? Is flexibility most important? Is adventure most important? Is peace of mind most important? You have to make sure everything lines up and is in congruence and in alignment. So for example, if someone's number 1 focus is peace of mind and flexibility, but one of their top goals is making a lot of money, that's incongruent. Okay? It's going to be hard to make as much money as you want, have a record-breaking year money-wise, but also record-breaking year peace of mind-wise. Now, you can do it, but it goes hand in hand, right? One of my biggest goals is impact and legacy, but also peace of mind. So I know I could make more money this year if I took off peace of mind and took off flexibility and family. but I'm not willing to sacrifice that. So I know that so I don't get confused and conflicted in the year. So you need to know what your ideal outcomes are, but also your values. Okay? You could say your values family, but if you know that you're in sacrifice stage, you have to share with your family and say, hey, you guys are my number one priority. And because of this, my actions are going to show that my priority is business, but it's because my priority is you guys. Here's why, here's the vision. So your action doesn't have to match your values in terms of exact things because you're focused on the longer term. If you're in sacrifice stage, you can focus on your family, but you can't provide for your family if you're with your family all the time, right? You have to be producing results. So you have to think about those things, right? So what people do you need to reach out to make sure you cut your learning curve in half? Who do you need to build relationships with, right? Who can help you reach these goals at a faster rate? Who are you committed to serving each week, right? And then here's a key. What I do, instead of planning my whole year out, which I think is a mess because things change, and if you're setting a year goal, what happens if in month 3 you forget about the year goal, you don't feel like it? It's challenging. So you got to put benchmarks in place. I put daily, weekly, and monthly benchmarks. There's 4 things I do under planning that help me solidify my best year ever, all right? First thing is daily, beginning of the day. What am I grateful for? What am I excited about? What am I committed to happen today no matter what? Committed to make happen. And I have a morning routine that sets me up for success. At the end of the day, what did I do well today? What can I do better tomorrow? So this kind of solidifies that I seize and maximize each day. Second thing is I have weekly reviews. Sunday. So I have a weekly review. My previous 7-day review, top wins from the week. What am I excited about this week? What am I 100% committed to making happen? My top 3 profit producers, my top 3 non-negotiables. What are the 3 people I need to reach out to today with my powerful questions on the back? I'm going to give this to you guys. I'm going to tell you guys how you can get this at the end. Mixed with some other stuff, which is awesome. I'm making a cool announcement. But daily, weekly, and then once a month, I review my month. So if you could just put in your schedule, if you can solidify a good morning routine, and then in the morning, ask yourself what you're committed to for the day, and then at the night, what'd you do well, what could you do better, and then a week, how would your week go? How are you going to invest your previous 7 days into your future 7 days? That's a huge key. Let me tell you a quick analogy of how important this is. Michael Jordan averaged about 29 points, a little over 29 points his whole career, maybe even 30. Every single game, he had less than 20 points. His next game, he averaged over 45. What does that mean? He never had 2 bad games in a row his whole career, 15 plus years. How is that possible? Well, it's not a mistake. After a game that wasn't right, he would do everything he could to figure out why it didn't go well. He would analyze, he would watch, he would put time in, he would practice. He would make sure that his next game was even better. Do the same thing with your weeks. There's no reason you should have 2 bad weeks in a row this year. It blows my mind, the people that have 2 bad years in a row. What are you doing? Right? You're doing the same thing you were the year before. What are you expecting a different result for? So the reality is, if you have a bad week, this solidifies you don't have 2 bad weeks. So when you see people having these amazing years and you're struggling, it's not rocket science and it's not luck or hope. It's strategy and consistent focus on review. So weekly and then monthly. So right after this video, put in your schedule, 1 hour Sunday. Put in your schedule, morning and night, review. Put in your schedule once a month, beginning of the month, review the month before. That will solidify right there that you don't have 2 bad weeks and you don't have 2 bad months, right? I also, every 90 days, so right now in my schedule for the year, I have daily, weekly, monthly review. I have a 90-day review, and this is what I include in the 90-day review. Every 90 days, I decrease stuff and I increase energy. Let me tell you what that means. Every 90 days, you can even do it sooner, I delegate everything that others do better than me and my team. I delegate and decrease everything that drains my energy, including people, and I get rid of relationships that are going nowhere. Not due to effort, due to their lack of standards being raised, or due to lack of complacency, or their lack of not caring about growth, right? Life's too short to hang out with people that don't make you feel exceptional, especially toxic people who settle too easy. And then I increase everything I permanently love. I increase everything that produces growth, and I increase everything that grows confidence. So I have daily, weekly, monthly, and 90-day reviews. Okay? Do you see how this is kind of solidifying your best year ever, because you're not letting yourself slide, right? You also want to get involved in an accountability group, an engagement group, a mastermind community. Sorry if my mic wasn't loud right there. Right? Get in a mastermind group, right? A networking group. That's a huge key. Getting around other people that at a higher level, that are playing the game at a higher level than you. Okay, number 4, compelling reasons. What are your powerful and most compelling reasons of why you want to crush it this year, right? Does your team know what they want and why they want it? Your job is to figure out your team's hot buttons and continue to remind them why they're doing what they're doing. Teaching them how to be self-sufficient so they don't depend on you. But second, what are your most compelling reasons? Why do you want this vision for yourself, for your family, and for your team this year? You need internal and external. Okay? How top performers always have internal reasons that are layered under internal reasons is how they stay at the top of their game. Reasons give you more juice every time you look at them. So I usually write down my top 25 reasons. Actually, to be honest, this is 2015. It says Young Millionaire Blueprint. Right here, my driving desires and top reasons. My family and Kayla, which is now my wife, she was my fiance at the time. Top reasons. I say inner drive. Right? I'm not going to read all these. These get me emotional looking at them. Crazy. So I have my vision up here. I have my top 3 reasons, the exact amount I desire by December 31st, 2015. So I made this in 2014. My top desires and reasons. Reasons drive you. Reasons come first, results come second. If you're not fired up for the new year, if you're not waking up fired up, if you're getting more excited about sporting events or going out with friends, or you complain about every little thing and things bug you and you're pumped about the weekends, you better reevaluate some things. Everyone wants purpose, and the reason why there's millions of people that just get obsessed about sports and go to events, and I'd rather watch people play than be an actual player, is there's not much purpose. That's why it's your job to create a movement that people want to be a part of. Plans are failing, movements aren't. So you create your own movement for your life and business and for your family, right? Then I have my top 5 goals to make 2015 my best year yet. I have my top 3 values, and then I have some stuff down here, some statements that I have. Interesting. It's cool to see this. But I have this every single year, right? So the greatest force in human nature is our desire as human beings to act in alignment with how we view ourselves. If you don't have confidence in yourself, it's going to be hard to act out of that. That's why I said make sure your self-image precedes the reality of what you think you are, right? In order to do something great and to take your business and your life to a whole new level, you have to give yourself permission to view yourself as that type of person that can do that. Our self-image is just a bunch of beliefs we have from our past and from what other people have told us based on society, based on your upbringing, things like that. You want to adjust that, right? So that's a huge key. So compelling reasons. Now, when you have these written down, for me, I write down 25 and I usually narrow it down to my top 5 or 10 because 15, 20 of those reasons are BS. If you're not waking up right now fired up and excited, you don't have strong enough reasons and you need to reevaluate those reasons. You might have heard me talk about this before. It doesn't matter. The most dangerous words you can tell yourself are, I already know that. The question's not if you know these things. It's, have you actually mastered these things? Does your bank account prove you know these things? Does your last year's profit and loss statement prove you know these things? Does your waistline prove you know how to be healthy? Does your relationships and the vibrancy you have with your wife, your husband, your friends, your fiance, your boyfriend, girlfriend, prove that you know these things about relationships, right? Think about that. So I want you to put these at the forefront of your mind to make sure you understand the importance of compelling reasons. And lastly, number 5 is just a reward system. How are you going to reward yourself? What are you going to do to make sure that you create an amazing experience this year and have memories as well as results and accomplishments, right? Every 30 days, take maybe a mini vacation, right? What are you going to do every week to stay adventurous and alive? Restaurants, maybe get a massage, do yoga, maybe do something different. Do a crazy activity after 6 months. Maybe take your family on an all-exclusive paid trip. I don't know, but reward yourself. You can do every week, every 30 days. Just don't reward yourself if you didn't get uncomfortable and put the work in, right? I think people are addicted to instant pleasure without deserving it. Get addicted to outcomes and results, not information and knowledge, and get addicted to the end result of how it feels doing what you don't feel like doing in the moment, right? That's how you're going to create the best year you've ever had, is getting addicted to doing what you should, not what you feel like. Because if you only do what you feel like, you're not going to do very much. This is why habits will always trump inspiration. You don't want it to be the year where you just, if you're not motivated, you watch something. In the moment, it doesn't matter if you're motivated. Motivation doesn't last, right? Habits and compelling reasons and who you become lasts longer than anything you can do tactically in the moment, all right? So why not go big this year? If you don't go all out, somebody else will, right? Imagine how it's going to feel if you're in a company that can be recognized in front of thousands of people, finally having financial freedom. How's it going to feel telling your husband or wife they don't have to work? How is it going to feel accomplishing something you've never accomplished before? Like, think about that. This is your chance to make up for all the times in your life where you didn't give your all. It's time to be a little bit selfish. Do this for yourself, but also for the people around you. The best way to inspire others. People ask me all the time, how do I inspire my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my wife, my husband, my friend? You don't. You live your best life. You practice what you preach. You lead by example. You show your lifestyle through how you live, and the right people will catch on and ask you what you're doing. If not, they don't want it bad enough, right? So that's it, guys, the 5 steps. If you really, really focus on making sure you create your ideal vision, you review your previous 30 to 60 days to make sure your habits are intact, you plan out your next 30 to 90 days with daily, weekly, and monthly checkups, you stay focused on your compelling reasons, and you create reward systems, you're going to have the best year you've ever had. I can promise you that. And I want to be there for that as well. And by the way, for the last 8 months, you probably don't even know about this. We haven't talked about it. Me and my business partner, Justin Weeks, have been working on a journal because I'm really big on journaling and really big on planning. So we created a strategic journal for entrepreneurs that included, so I've used probably 15 journals and planners in the last 10, 15 years. From, all kinds. Jim Rohn journal, to the customized journal, to a wealth and business journal, to Grant's 10X journal, to Genius, all kinds of journals. And they always were missing something. So I wanted to create a journal that was also time management and productivity focused. So it has our daily, it has my weekly review in there, it has my monthly review, and it has my 1-page productivity planner, so you can be reminded of how to maximize your days, weeks, and months. So I'm super excited. It's not out yet. It might be out by the time you get this, but we did a special friends and family discount. If you want to check it out, it's achievingautonomy.com/family. By the time you're watching this, it might just be achievingautonomy.com. The link is below, but this will help you get bigger things done. It's obviously it's affordable as well. This is not me pitching. If you feel like it'll help you, if you really feel like you want a system, you want all-in-one journal that you like to not just use to maximize your time management, but to use for life and for everything you do, this is the game changer for you. Prioritize like the elite performers, stay more focused, achieve complete autonomy, accelerate your growth, and really measure what matters. I'm excited to introduce you to this journal. It's not even done printing yet. It's in print right now. And you'll obviously, if you order, you'll be the first to get it. But I took everything I wanted in a journal, because every time I had a journal, there were still things I was writing on the side. I was still using my 1-page plan. I took everything and put it into one. So you can have everything you need to maximize your time management and efficiency and to plan out your weeks. So I'm excited to have you guys get your hands on this. But thanks again for betting on yourself, for being a loyal subscriber and listener. And I think this journal could really change the game for you because it talks about everything we talked about today, simplified, and you have one book you need. It's kind of like a mastery journal, but also a place to put your, I can't really explain it till you look at it. You can go to the website. But it's put all your goals, you can plan out your weeks, you can put your non-negotiables, but also it almost guarantees that you do your weekly, monthly, and daily review because it's in the actual journal, right? So I'm excited for you to get that. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'd love to hear your one thing that you're committed to this year. Just one thing. What's one of your biggest goals or something you're committed to the next 12 months that you could share below? I'll be in the comments commenting as well. I appreciate you guys. Let's make this the best year we've ever had together. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.